What's happening? Welcome back to another episode of the Account for Life podcast. Jay, the healthy accountant, helping you to account for your life. And today on the podcast, man, this is a good one. I think the main objective for faith-driven businesses, faith-driven business owners, what is that objective? And, what is a faith-driven business? Like, what is that for real? Because I think that maybe we need to unpack what a faith-driven business is. We're going to look at the main objective, just so that if you are someone of faith who just so happens to be in business, this may be a good podcast for you to be listening to. So if you are a faith-driven business person, then I just want to invite you to Beyond Tax Strategy, which is a brand new book that's been written by a faith-driven business owner so that you don't mess up on taxes, at least give you an understanding of taxes that at least get you to asking more questions. So you should go on Amazon, grab this book, Beyond Tax Strategy, which can help you in that regard because you're a faith-driven business. So what is a faith-driven business today? It's interesting because I don't think that was something that even was like, no one was doing that. Because when I look back, there was no faith. There wasn't really faith-driven people in business. There may have been some Christians. There were some Christian people in business, but you may not have known it. This is a different time period. So you may not have known that somebody was a Christian in business many years ago. Just like when I was in business early on, starting in 2002 and getting into the mortgage business. I got into the mortgage business in 2003. No, I got into the mortgage business in 2002 as well. So I was a Christian in business. It's just that I kind of left the Christianity. Let me leave that home today. I'm just going to go get the business, right? I'm going to focus on that. So a faith-driven business is one that says, you know what? I'm going to merge the objective that I ultimately have in life, which is to bring the gospel of the kingdom into the marketplace, right? So if we bring the gospel of kingdom into the marketplace, what are we actually bringing? This is important. We're not bringing a religion to the marketplace. Just want to make sure we understand that. We're not bringing our religion to the marketplace. We're not bringing our denomination to the marketplace. We can let churches do that, but we're not bringing, no. That's not what we're doing. What we're doing is we're bringing a demonstration of what faith is. Oh, let me say that again, because I think that a lot of times that may not necessarily be what a Christian in business is thinking. Sometimes kingdom entrepreneurs and faith-driven business owners get this wrong as well, because we think we're just out. Hey, come into what we're doing. Now, here's the thing: there's a place for that. There's a place for you should come into something, but that's not the objective. The objective is to get the word out. Let's go to the Bible. Right? The Bible, what does Jesus say? Jesus says the end won't come until the message has been preached to all the world. So it doesn't mean you got to recruit anybody. It just means that we have to get the word out. So if a faith-driven business is a demonstration of what faith really is, then we have proof that what we are saying, how we are living, is true. That's it. It's like we got proof, because I've now discovered a way to help people so they can get what they want. Because the main objective in any business is really solving a problem. That's the main objective. See, or bringing a new solution, which go hand in hand. Typically, to bring a solution means that there had to be a problem. And if there's a problem, then we know we have an opportunity. I think it was Dr. Miles Monroe who said that, there's problems everywhere. There's so many problems. And that means that there's tons of businesses that we could have. And it's now that I think people are realizing that, wow, the problem that I had is a problem that when I solve it, I can help other people solve it, which means I don't have to have a ministry. Uh-oh. See, this is where a lot of the Christians and believers and faith people, this is where they started. Oh, let me go just start a ministry. So it's not about the money. Let's just give everything away. And, the thing that you give away is the thing that people just kind of like take for granted. The thing that they have to pay for, they don't take that for granted because they know they need money for it. So as a faith-driven business person, our main objective is to solve a problem. And it could simply be solve a problem that we had at some point, but we solved it. One of the problems that I know I will solve is this money problem in business. There's a money problem amongst businesses, and especially for faith-driven business owners, a lot of times money is one of these things that they just can't quite get their minds around. They just can't quite get enough of it. Yesterday I was talking about doing some math. Anytime there's a money where you would like to bring more money in, let's just talk from a business perspective. We need to bring more money in. And because we wanted to bring more money in, then here's kind of how we have to look at that. What do we need the money for? What do you actually need the money for? So think about this. If you were going to your management, you went to your management, you say, hey man, I'm going to put on this program, and the program is going to be this, it's going to be this, it's going to be this. And then we need $1 million. The management is going to say, okay, sure, no problem. You can have $1 million, but show me why you need it. Show me what you're going to do with the money. See, as a faith-driven business person, what we have to realize is that just because we say we need something doesn't mean we'll get it. But when we have a plan for it, then that makes all the difference. We got to go back to Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 1. The preparations of the heart in man. You must prepare. We must do the planning. Man, I'm gonna tell you, this one really took me some time to allow to sit with me. See, guys, a lot of times we have to allow things to sit with us on an extended period of time, because the change that has to occur, you don't want to start the change process and then you can't change. You want to start the change process so you can stay changed and continue to elevate in whatever kingdom assignment that you have, taking territory. So as I'm thinking about, I'm like, okay, wow, it's about the plan. It's like, well, man, I'd like to earn millions of dollars. Why? Show me why. So I can have money? Oh, no. Kingdom assignment just for you to have a lot of money? No, that's not how it works. Show me what that's going to do for the people. Show me how that's going to help the people. Show me how you use the money, and then show me how the money continues to grow. See, because at the end of the day, what the management wants us to do is to keep it growing, to make it grow more and more and more and more. You know, when I think of the parable of the sower, the parable of the seeds, that's in essence what it is, the parable of the seeds. And at the end of that parable, you know, when Jesus says, well, you know, the seed that falls on good soil can grow 30, 60, 100-fold. So let's think about that as faith-driven business owners. People who know that we have a calling on our lives, man. Like, we know that we should know our purpose, and we should understand the mission that God has placed us on. We should understand where we're going, like the territory that we're being sent into. And one of the things I had to come to grips with is what territory God was sending me into. See, I went out into the world, and I'm, you know, in the tax business, which is just, that's a part of what the world has to do anyway. So God has me out there. But then as God continued to mold me and shape me, he said, I need you to go back into where my people are, because my people, they die. They perish because of lack of knowledge. And so I need you to go back in. It's kind of like when Jesus came, what did he do? He went in to where the people, where God's people already were. He didn't go straight into the world, all of the Gentiles. He didn't go straight to that, even though they could benefit. They could have wished there was some that converted. He went into where his people are. So the people of God, it's kind of like what God is saying. He says, go back in there. I need to go there. Go and help them. And so it took me some time to get here. So I'm like, wow, faith driven, right? It's not, I mean, you could say kingdom entrepreneur, but at the end of the day, you may not be a kingdom entrepreneur yet, but you definitely may be someone of faith, because really it starts with a person of faith, a person that has a little bit of faith, a person that says, man, I want to increase my faith. That was one of the questions I had. Lord, can you increase me? Can you increase what I have? He says, wow, good question. Go check out what I said to the disciples. Go see what I said to them. And when I went and saw what he said, he says, if you have only a grain of a mustard seed faith, tiny, just a little bit, just by having a little bit of faith, you can move mountains. Like, if that's what God wants, you can do impossible things, the things that God wants. So it's like, wow, with God, all things are possible. So as I think about this objective for faith-driven business owners, the objective is to come to grips with merging our business with our faith. Merging, like literally becoming one with your business. And then it's like taking that oneness, taking that into the marketplace to solve a problem. The fastest, the best problem to solve typically is a problem you already have insight on, the problem you've already solved, or the problem you can refer. This is another one. Like, a lot of times faith-driven business people, they don't understand, like, what is the main, what's the main thing I need to learn? One, you gotta learn how to sell. You gotta learn how to sell. You gotta learn how to get people into the right thing. If a person doesn't have a product, if a person doesn't have a service that they know that they can offer at a much high level, then you don't have to do anything. All you got to do is go find something that's already working. And then all you do is position that thing by using it. So the first thing is you got to have intimate knowledge of the thing. Usually you don't want to recommend something that you have not personally gotten results from. So you want to get some results from the thing. You want to do the thing. You want to have the thing. You want to be one with that thing, so that now when you start sharing the thing, you're not just sharing it so that people can buy it, saying, man, this is what it did for me. See, as a faith-driven business person, our job is this is what it did for me. This is the transformation that I personally got. So we can talk about the transformation, which is the testimony. We can give a testimony. So as a faith-driven business person, we have to always have a testimony of what it is that we're doing. I have a testimony that God changed my life through this podcast. He sent me on a mission to discover me. He didn't tell me that, though. God didn't say, well, Jay, I'm going to send you on a mission so that you can discover yourself, and so that you can have a testimony about discovering yourself. So that you can have a testimony about how you really went to build your faith. When I didn't go to do any of those things. What I did was I followed instructions. See, as a faith-driven business person, like, you have to follow instructions. You will get one instruction typically. God's going to give you an instruction. And when he gives you that instruction, you want to take the instruction and just go with it. Like when he said, go start talking to your phone and doing this podcast. Okay, great. But I didn't understand why. And that annoyed me for a while. You know how you don't know why you're doing something. You're like, but I want to know why. It's like, okay, you'll find out soon. But like, I can't really explain it to you. Because if I try to explain it to you, then you just might, I don't know, I can't do it. So God won't tell you. God will not break it down. It's just that you have to go. Here it comes. You got to go by faith. Go by faith. You got to go by faith. You got to live by faith. You got to produce by faith. You got to just go. Like, faith is what you use to get to the next level. So another objective is when you get the instruction, you don't have to know why you're doing it. All you have to know is that I got the instructions and I will go by faith, knowing that whatever God has planned for me, this thing that I'm doing will lead me exactly to where he's taking me. See, 2017, 7 years ago, June the 7th, June the 6th, or something like that, when God told me to go, he did not tell me where I would be the next year. He didn't tell me where I would be the following year, 2019. He didn't tell me where I'd be in 2020. He didn't tell me 21. He didn't tell me 22. He didn't tell me 23. And here it is, 24. I'm getting a much clearer message about what God wants from me. Faith-driven men and women and faith-driven businesses. I was recently at an event, and I typically like to, and I didn't even think of it as advertising, but I have my Healthy Accountant shirt on, which has Healthy Accountant on the front. But if someone sees me from the back, all they see is Account for Your Life across the back, and then Faith, Fitness, and Finances down the back, down the middle of the back. And so I had some people come up to me. It was like, hey, I want to work with you. I had some people say they wanted to work with me and they didn't even know me. I think that's what I need, is what two people said this to me, which there were hundreds of people that I saw, and probably hundreds of people saw the back of my shirt. But see, here's the thing. Your message ain't for everybody. Your message is only for the people who, when they see it, know it's theirs. And they just say, hey, can I have that? Can I have that? And so at the end of the day, when you show up as you all the time, you don't have to worry. I'm getting the word right now. I'm getting the word. And I'm going to share the word with you. I was asking God, one of the things that I asked God for is, look, I need my own thing. I need my own method. I need my own method. You know how like there's different methods of advertising and marketing and stuff like that, and way of selling. Like I said, I need my own method. God, I need my own method. Want the method that is absolutely me, that doesn't compromise me, that doesn't make me feel unauthentic, just me. And as I'm sitting here talking about it, I'm realizing that I'm starting to see a path for the method. It's not clear, but I'm starting to see it. So at the end of the day, whatever method you use, and at the end of it, when I'm like in this new program that I'm actually creating, I had a friend of mine who's helping me with it. I'm creating it for people to get to the next level, and I'm creating it for men and women of faith. The men and women of faith may not necessarily be in business yet. It could be, but they may not necessarily be in business. And because I realized that there has to be a process, there's a process that people might need to go through so that when they go in or while they're in, they have the courage, they have the character, they have the characteristics that they can do it, and that they won't quit. And so God's opening that up, and that's based on this book. This one right here, Living Life on the Next Level. Living Life on the Next Level is a program that I'll teach men and women of faith to become themselves. I will teach them how to discover personal leadership. I will teach them how to shift their mindset to find their purpose, right? They will realize that the status quo is unacceptable. Next level of living is about shifting your mindset to find your purpose, increase service to others, and maximize growth and creativity. Winners take an honest look at themselves and grow from all their experiences. I'm excited because Living Life on the Next Level, that new program is going to help men and women of faith either become a faith-driven business person, or it's going to help people who are already in business that are faith-driven to have a path that they can carve out for themselves so that they can have their own personal leadership journey, discovering their purpose. See, at the end of the day, when we're talking about an objective for faith-driven businesses, purpose has to be right up there. The purpose, the plan creates the prosperity, and who doesn't want prosperity? So if you're a purpose-driven business person, be sure that you take the instruction that God gives you and you use faith to move forward. Don't allow uncertainty of not knowing to keep you stuck like Chuck in the pickup truck and then wondering why things never changed. It's when you get the instruction that you go and you act with faith, allowing yourself to become the person that God knows you are through doing what he said to do. That's the objective for faith-driven businesses. And I look forward to continuing to serve you here on this podcast. And yes, make sure you subscribe if you have not subscribed to the podcast. We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple, and you can find us on Facebook. You can find us all over the internet at The Healthy Accountant. So guys, I appreciate you for joining me for this episode of the Account for Your Life podcast. Jamie, the Healthy Accountant, helping you to account for your life. God bless, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.